So many things,
So
honestly.
many things. So many things.
Why?
Story.
Why shouldn't we worry about things?
Yeah, what does that mean, Chrissy? Chrissy, what does that mean?
I guess maybe you'll find out. I don't know.
The story is that I once went on a date in the bar that Hosier drinks in. And my date thought she saw Hosier, but it wasn't him. But she did tell me that he drank there all the time, and it could have been him.
You were going to lose your girl real quick.
Hmm?
You would have lost your girl real quick.
Oh, yeah, probably. That's
or maybe.
Hosier, king of the lesbians?
I was going to say, hear me out.
But what if?
Or, yeah. I mean, she might have lost me.
It's true.
Invite him in.
Brothers, baby.
That is incredible. I'm imagining that. I'm going to be distracted now. And I have to run a game, and that's a problem.
He does keep his whiskey neat.
You make a good point, Cass. He does have two hands.
And he's a big dude.
Mm-hmm.
So like,
it's true.
It's
true.
Fine. Literally fine.
It's true.
I love it that this is where we are starting tonight, and I can only imagine it's going to get more unhinged from here.
Probably.
Based on what?
Based on who was at the table.
Maybe. I don't know.
I mean, this table has never been known for doing unhinged things.
I've never had sex on top of a piano.
And also, we've never done that in the game.
Oh no, shocking! It was a piano lesson.
Trying to strike a chord, and it definitely was not A minor.
Amber.
My neighbor is outside playing Kendrick Lamar super, super loud right now. So
yeah, this is gonna be a time that we're about to have together tonight. I guess I will get us started. Let's dive in. It always throws me off when Will is doing tech, because I am used to running tech when I run games, and then I'm like, oh wait, I say the words, Will doesn't say the words, and it is confusing.
You got to do it this time.
I do, and it's a tragedy. Let me see if I can remember how to say them, as I did last night. Hi, we are live from the apocalypse. We are a not-for-profit TTRPG studio that raises money for aid organizations and good causes. Currently, we are raising money for Doctors Without Borders to support the absolutely critical work that they are doing in Gaza and other places that are experiencing atrocities. And so we ask that whatever money you would have given us in that fake cryptocurrency instead goes directly to Doctors Without Borders, and you can find the donate button where the subscribe button would usually be. We, to that end, have hidden that. We'll talk about that later. Don't worry about it. It's not important. What is important is where the donate button is, and the fact that you can type !donate at any point to get that link if, say, you are on a mobile device. At that point, the McElroy brothers will yell specifically at Will. We may also yell in solidarity in that moment. But, if it's a really important moment that Abigail is having, please feel free to throw Will off his game, because that is always entertaining to see him try to remember where he was and what he was saying. We cannot remove the subscribe button. We have tried. Unfortunately, that is not possible. So if you do decide to try and find that, just be forewarned that if you subscribe, Brennan Lee Mulligan will kill.
Baby.
Thanks for the donation.
That down, dude.
Is that
crack one for
from
the
Will's
big
mom?
Boy.
Thanks, Will's mom.
Thanks,
Will's mom.
Hey,
now log off. You don't get to watch this one.
No, stay. You're going to enjoy this a lot.
You cannot watch this one. We've talked about this.
We love moments like that. Kind of a shame that didn't, happen in the middle of a 30-minute flirt session like the last session had.
Listen. She doesn't need to know what happens in this game. She just has to know she can't watch.
Totally normal things happen in this game. It's a normal time. So yes, that is what happens when we get a donation. On the other hand, if you subscribe, Friendly Mulligan will kill one dog for every month you have been subscribed. That has been particularly bad some months. We have had it be like 87 dogs, so don't contribute to that number. Instead, just give your money to Doctors Without Borders. There is also ways to use channel points. Sometimes people remember that, and they use reactions like the spray bottle emoji, which gets used a lot in this particular game, with this particular table especially. I don't want to know how many times it was used last time, but it was a lot. I think it was happening every few minutes for a period of time. You can also choose to redeem higher amounts of points for good things and bad things. Just a casual reminder that you can influence where the game goes. And I'm sure only good things will come through. Unfortunately, I have to trust Will to tell me that, so make sure you keep him honest. So if some bad things come in, they don't get to skate by. But
I don't think anyone would redeem bad stuff.
I think that's only because Raph isn't currently awake.
I know there's one that would.
Wait, now I need to know who you're thinking. Q, who are you thinking?
Well, it depends on if she's actually paying attention right now, or if they're actually paying attention.
I'm paying attention.
Not you. There's a goblin that likes to do bad stuff.
I don't know what you're talking about. I've never done a bad thing in my life.
I'm not talking about anybody in this group. I'm talking about in the chat. I'm talking about in the chat.
Oh, okay. I do know who you're talking about. Never mind. Yeah, definitely Will's mom.
That, that was my guess too.
Sure, absolutely.
But with that, this is the third season of A Season of Secrets and Shadows, our Regency-flavored Monsterhearts game. And so I would like my lovely cast to go around, remind us of who they are, who they're playing, and that character's current playbook. And, any casual extra details you would want to throw in.
Heck. Hi, everybody. I'm Amber, also known as the Space Jamper. I am a 3-time Emmy-nominated TTRPG writer, editor, podcaster, and streamer. And I am coming to you tonight as Astrid Primer, Lady Astrid Primer, who I did miss the Flirt Fest last week because, unfortunately, I made the grave mistake of eating a fuck ton of ballpark food the day before last stream. And then my body was mad at me for a full day. So who knows what Astrid's getting up to. I think I'm in the middle of a menage a trois with all of the seneschals, or some kind of meeting was happening, and I just yeeted myself over there. So I am playing the Huldra, and that's it, baby.
That was indeed where we left you.
Yeah.
Hello.
Popcorn.
Hello. Hi. My name is Will. I'm one of the storytellers and the organizers here live from the apocalypse. I play Miss Abigail Donatelli, who is the Devil Playbook. Has been the Devil Playbook for quite a while now, and I don't think that shows any signs of changing. If you love what you do, you never work a day in your life, as they say. Just here to help my friends. Honestly, I got no other goals, no motivations. I think everybody would agree that I'm very well adjusted about it, and I'm not running from anything. That's it for me.
So we're lying now.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Can't lie to God. You killed him.
Hi, I'm Chrissy. I'm playing Morgan the Ghost, and I am. You don't know where I am. You don't know what I'm doing. You don't know. You don't have to worry about it.
See, when you say that, then I don't believe it.
I believe them.
Yeah, you
Of
should.
course you would, AD, because you've already said you light a god at the end of me. So
Valid.
In this game, technically JD is God, so.
I mean, lying to himself does seem sort of,
JD coded.
Sure you want to say
It's-
that at the start of the session? I'm
Hey.
about to redeem bad stuff.
Lie to yourself, not to me, JD.
Listen, I understand your brand. It's cool. Hi, I'm Q. I am playing Mr. Dorian Black, who is the Angel playbook. But like, if that's actually what he is, who can say really? Yeah, he is actively, he's not running from things per se, but he is ignoring them or trying to. He tried to do that self-discovery thing, and that backfired big time. So we're gonna do other stuff instead, I think.
You had an angel on your shoulder literally helping you.
Right, except that it seemed like he was the devil in this instance. So it's wild.
No, that's Abigail. Hello, I am JD. I am the storyteller for this game, and I will be playing everyone else, which in this case means, for the most part, whichever NPCs get to be the stolen cars today. And we're going to find that out together.
Where did that start? I started saying that.
The manual says it. It is the description in Monsterhearts of what the NPCs are. That they are stolen cars that the players can drive and then abandon wherever they so choose.
It's very, very Fast and Furious coded.
And that is why our next season is going to be London Drift.
Should have been this one.
Alright. Well, alright. I'm into it.
Wait, isn't this London Drift? Because it's the third installment?
Right, this should be London Drift.
It should be. This is clearly 2.5.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, I guess. I feel like there's some debate. I feel like it's widely accepted that Tokyo Drift is the third movie. Like you could make a case that it's like a side story. Maybe.
Now I have to think about this, and that's a lot of thinking to do. Which is the one where they go to space?
Tokyo Drift.
No.
Do they go? Hold on, back up. I'm not up on my Fast and the Furious lore. They go to space in the cars?
They send a car to space, yeah.
I feel like that's 9 or 10.
Yeah. It's not 10. Might be 9.
I feel like I'm being
it's
punked.
9. No.
You're not. I wish you
You're
were.
not.
I wish you were, Chrissy.
I'm
mean,
Googling
so
this.
sorry.
If you're lying to me, I'm getting off this call.
No one's
I guess
lying.
family can
send a
be
car to
from
space.
anywhere.
I mean,
It's
it's true.
It is 9. And what the fuck?
Told you.
Yeah. I told you we weren't lying.
We're not bullshitting. Nope. The Fast series got wild. Listen.
They sure as shit did.
Okay. I didn't watch past, I think, 2.
I mean, you
Chrissy,
didn't
I
really
should-
need
out.
to.
Why? Why would they do that?
See, I just
Sorry.
had to know that to know how many seasons we would need to get to so that I could send all of you to space.
Season 9, we go to space.
Season 9, we go to space.
All right.
Okay.
You heard it here
I'm in.
first.
I'm here for it.
There's a your honest joke in there somewhere. I won't be the one to make it because that's just too expected.
Well, JD can't make it either. And no one else would get it, so.
As the American, do I have to say Uranus?
Yes.
Sweet. Okay, then
Somebody
I'll do
has
it.
to.
Right.
Somebody has to.
Okay. Cool. Demons passed. What were we doing?
Yeah, what's up? What's good? Let's go. What's going on? What's going on?
Well, so that's a great question. What is going on? What is going on with you, Lady Astrid Primer? Because you were just face to face with the Cerberus. All three of them. Standing side by side. You're. Well, one of them, the man that at one time you thought you would marry. That being Julius, of course. One who you impaled with a stick. That being Damien. And one that you had just met earlier that day, the current seneschal, Nyx, who looked very delighted to see that you had stumbled into their midst.
Well, I just want to say, JD, when anyone is mad or mean to Astrid, this is who they're mean to. So I just want to, I just want to start that off here. You can't be mean to Astrid. So that's one. Sorry, that Cappy just came in the mail, and I'm very excited about it.
No, it's incredible.
So jot that down.
Yeah.
Yeah. Two. Two. Astrid is still really upset, unsettled, needed to get away very quickly because of everything that was escalating within the house, and was expecting to be in Fairy, right? Expecting to be at a place that could potentially provide some answers and some solace. And unfortunately, instead of answers and solace, she found antagonism and seneschals. So great, wonderful situation to be stuck in. So Astrid and all her finery is stuck in a moment where she actually doesn't know how to respond. Just very clearly, I am not used to using these powers and I did not use them correctly and I done goofed. So she just appears and then takes note of where she is and immediately bites her tongue. Like, seneschals, good evening to you all. I'm so sorry to interrupt your meeting of the minds. I'll I'll be going now. I'm sorry. I thought I was headed elsewhere. Um, good night to you all. And instead of using magic, she actually just wants to turn around on foot and try to go home.
And so, with that, Astrid, first, there is a moment, a very brief one, where Damien actually is the one to speak up and say, Lady Primer, you don't have to call the rest of us seneschals. That is Nyx only. And Nyx just says, yes, I can explain that myself, Damien. But they make no attempt to stop you if you want to turn and leave.
They stop and say, well, I feel like it would be disrespectful to not address you by your station. Once essential, always essential. You earned that title, did you not?
And Damien pauses and looks actually at Julius and then back at you and says, I was seneschal for about 5 days at most. I'm not really sure that I earned that title.
That's valid. Well then, I do apologize for my impropriety of crashing your party, as it were. We happen to have our own party happening at Sanctuary. So again, I am so sorry. And she curtsies. And but she does say, and Damien, I do again sincerely apologize for the injuries I incurred you during one of your 5 days as seneschal.
He shakes his head. Don't worry about that. It was a time for everyone, it seemed.
You have no idea how much of a time it was for a lot of us. Actually, before I go, why are the three of you just gathered here? Is that information that... I'm sorry if I'm overstepping my boundaries. Just suspicious that the current seneschal and two former would just be here, gathering in the middle of the night.
And Nyx nods right near where you are standing towards the blighted earth on the palace and says, Oh, we were examining that.
Hold on, let me see if I have a move. I don't know. Do.
We love a move.
Okay. So where is it? Okay. I don't want to run away for right now. I think what I'm interested in doing is I would like to gaze into the abyss, actually, and look for, like, exactly, like, gaze into the distance here, like, literally gaze into the distance here and gaze into the abyss. And Astrid doesn't know what the significance of this blighted earth is, or why the Seneschals would be interested in it. So I think that would be kind of the move she's going for.
Absolutely, I love that.
Okay. Roll with dark. That is a 7.
All right. What does it look like when Astrid gazes into the abyss?
It's very similar to when last season she was kind of tapping into that, like the strings and the threads of magic that she was just getting a grasp on, where her eyes are closed, pointed in, like, but her body's like facing in the direction of the palace that in the affected area. But it's almost as if she falls into like some sort of like trance, almost like hands like moving as if literally trying to grasp at um answers in the world, answers that the universe might be able to provide her if she were able to pull the right string, as it were.
And of course, with a 7 to 9 gazing into the abyss, what the universe shows you is not necessarily clear. It is confusing. And this is definitely a confusing series of images because as you're letting your eyes unfocus, as you're tapping in, as the chill of autumn wind starts to whip around you and the three seneschals, you see where that spot of blighted earth is. Stairwell almost coming up out of it. And you see some familiar faces. You see Rhiannon looking a bit worse for the wear as she makes her way up. You also see Elise looking dark and stormy in a way you've never seen them look. You see a horse. I suppose you've seen Douglas, so you would recognize the horse-shaped being, but he also looks different. You're pretty sure that he didn't have sparks actually coming out of his nose or off his hooves when you last saw him, but he sure does now. And you see Carmen. And you see as Carmen steps out that his eyes go to a vibrant blue color. And you see the moment that happens. And that's where the image gets less concrete, where you start to see different flashes. You see the Carewood estate shrouded in fog. You see Abraham Donatelli, Abigail's father, in a room screaming. And you see a white gazebo splashed with blood.
And do I know if the seneschals see this too, or
You are pretty sure they do not. They are likely seeing something, but it is going to be filtered through their eyes in the same way this is filtered through your mind and body.
Astrid takes a moment to process everything, that the abject chaos and complete raucousness that is happening down with Rhiannon, with Elise, with Carmen, with Monsignor Donatelli, and makes a decision within herself, very resolute within themselves. They open their eyes and regard the rest of the seneschals, and they say, "It is quite a disturbance, it looks like, from up here. But are you actually going to do anything about it, or is it just an action?" Staring pointedly at Julius.
And because you're staring pointedly at Julius, Julius says, "Well, with all due respect, Lady Primer, this is not exactly my purview anymore."
Well, it certainly is not mine.
I would, of course, defer to Seneschal Nix.
Well, Seneschal?
Nix actually looks somewhat delighted that Astrid is being this direct and says, "You are right to question authority, particularly those who have been rather lax in their duties. Yes, we are going to do something about this. That is why I am here. To fix the things that have been broken and to find a way to restore some semblance of balance."
Well, a lot has been done, or not done, by previous individuals who held your title. Full offense, Julius. And I apologize that I'm not exactly in the mood to mince my words tonight and be more delicate as my parents brought me up to be. But I know that what I saw going on down there would be of most interest to a few members of a few members of my social circle. And if you don't do anything, we will.
That is not something you will have to worry about, but that is understood.
I would rather not members of this community be further traumatized and brought into destruction due to the inaction of those who claim to protect us.
That is not
But
something you need to convince me of, Lady Primer.
time will tell. The track record of seneschals long past has not been the most trustworthy, but time will tell.
I think if you look back at history, you will see that that has not always been the case. There have been many seneschals. who have been the reason wars never happened, who ensured safety for those who were in danger. And that does not mean all of them, and that does not mean recent ones. And I do not fault you for judging me against what you have seen thus far. I look forward to proving you wrong.
Amber's brain is just going hot. But on Astrid's face, a small smile cracks. Okay. Well, Seneschal Nyx, we'll see if you do or not. But I do have other hostessing duties to return to, so I actually will be taking my leave this time. Good night to you all. And we shall see each other later. Or see each other at a different time. And she does turn, and I don't think she like uses runaway in like the normal sense. I think she wants to try to use use her like teleporting abilities to try to get home. Because to just walk away after all of that and like the walk home would be not very powerful. So
I love that. Astrid, it is going to be a bit until you make it home, because as you use that teleportation ability, two things happen. One, you hear Julius say, "Astrid, wait." And then you do what you had wanted to do before. You jump into Fairy. But you're not alone. Which you realize in about 5 seconds.
fuck.
As you hear leaves rustling and Julius say, "Astrid, how did we get here?" And we're going to come back to that in just a few moments.
I just ended this man's whole life and now he's stuck in Fairy with me. God damn it. Shit. This is why I need to be on Twitter again so I can like practice yelling at men. So
Listen, we're making sure you have practice tonight.
thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate you. But
So for the other 3 of you who have had a bit of an eventful evening, some revelations came to light. But most notably, in this moment, your recent addition to the household disappeared. And items started moving, breaking, however we want to describe this. There is a disruption in the force. And Abigail and Dorian have been left alone? Question mark? How do you two respond to that disappearance?
think Dorian is just going to stand very still, wait for other things to start moving. And I think as he's looking around from behind, his dark frames, he's going to speak very quietly. Morgan, I understand that you're upset. You have every right to be. I would ask that you come back so we can work this out. Well,
Abigail will give it a minute and then say, "What just happened?"
I'm not entirely sure. I was hoping you had some better insight. You're the smart one. Maybe we should leave the room.
How do
Maybe.
you feel about that, Morgan?
Listen, I sent you a message. So we don't know how Morgan feels.
I feel like you should. I feel like
What
you
does
should
that
have
mean,
some
Chrissy?
idea. I feel like you
Chrissy,
should
what
have
does
some
that
idea,
mean?
Chrissy, because that's your
And
character. What do you mean? What are you talking about?
I think that's fair, Chrissy. I think I do want to ask, does anything happen in the room? Caused by Morgan or otherwise?
I think you might hear some rattling of, like, I don't know, is there like a desk with drawers or just like something that's like large and easy to manipulate besides the door?
Yeah, there's plenty.
Okay. Those might rattle a bit.
So no, we don't leave this room. It's a lot easier to place your raids if you can see the other person.
Did you have a question?
Go for it.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but we ended last session with like 2 visions back to back, right? Was there any obvious tell? Like, since Abigail was in the room, would she have been able to pick up on anything, or did it just look perfectly like a perfectly normal conversation?
I mean, I think in those cases, there was enough being talked about out loud that you would have realized they had both seen things. Because Morgan, and correct me if I'm wrong, Chrissy, but Morgan acknowledged the fact that she died alone, that Dorian was not there with her. And so there was enough of that said out loud that even if you weren't able to see it or sense it, you know something happened.
Dorian, what did you do?
What do you mean?
You said that you did not kill her.
I didn't.
So then what did you do?
I left.
But you found her. Dying.
Yes.
Why were you there?
Don't remember. I don't have many details beyond I saw her dying in my arms. And then I heard people approaching. So I stayed as long as I could. And then I left.
I think at that point, whatever bottle of the alcohol that you had been drinking tips over. I don't want to say it shatters, but it does tip over and spill.
We're gonna catch that because not my whiskey. How dare you?
I may need you to trust me.
I mean, I
Dorian.
do. No, I do. I just hate when you say that.
I don't think that we will be able to bring Morgan back. At least not corporeally. Until we know more about what happened.
Okay. Are we gonna have to go back into my head?
She did tell me what she wanted. Which means I might be able to procure it for her.
So yes is the answer.
Dorian, I think you hear Rem in that moment say, "You're dealing with a devil, Dorian. You should know to clarify the terms."
I'm dealing with Abigail. So, gonna try and figure out more details. How are we gonna do this?
Oh. You may want to get comfortable.
Hmm.
I only know one way.
Hmm. Do I need to put something down on the floor?
No. But I think Abigail starts rolling up her sleeves And she goes over to the bottle of alcohol and pours 2 glasses. With one in each hand, walks back over. But if this works, you won't be able to see. At least not for a little while.
All right. He will take the glass, and I think he's going to.
When you reach for the glass, she will pull back and she will say, no, these are for me. And she will down them both.
Okay, then when you're done, he's going to take glass from you. He's going to pour one for himself. JD, we're in the Wild West of whatever the fuck my character is. I'd like to try a thing.
I would love for you to try a thing. What would you like to try?
So I made the sword. Can I turn him into a little guy?
I feel like I need like a little more clarification on what that means.
I still need to find Astrid. But if I have to do this, I need someone else to do that thing. So I would like to effectively pull out the sword and try and transform him into just a little angelic looking creature to go about and try and find my fiance.
This is incredible, and I can't not say yes. You know what? Roll with your stat that is inevitably always at a 0 because we do not do enough sinning or forgiving.
I mean, that's fair. I can start doing that. I probably should, because it needs to go up or down. I don't fucking know, dude. All right, let's do it. 1 second. 1 second. All right. Yeah. Okay. That's a 7.
Dorian, what do you envision for Rem?
So I think in his mind, he's trying to make Rem like a little newsie, but just with wings. Just a little street urchin newsy boy, except he's got wings. So,
The
how does that
roller
go?
coaster of emotions of this game is incredible.
That's what I'm here for.
All right.
Just a low Christian Bale.
He's just a little guy.
Abigail, you watch as this happens. You watch as Dorian takes out the sword and it starts to change. And there's, I believe, a moment where you think you're going to potentially see Rem appear in not full angelic glory because that is not fit for being on Earth, but in what angels are most depicted as. A larger figure with wings, and you even see the silhouette of this appear for a moment. And then instead, you see like a 4-foot tall angel
Hello, guy.
that looks like a street urchin, but with cute little
Just a
wings.
guy.
More like Protestant Bale. Because Church of England.
Kid. Whew. 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 That one.
That's a good joke.
Need to
It's a
walk that
good
one off
joke,
my
and you
face.
all know it.
Boo, boo, go to hell.
Tomatoes. It's fine. It's just
It
like
was a
the
good
devil
joke.
is cool. I don't know if I can accept it into my heart. You know, it was what I was going for. I realize now that might have been rude of me.
No, I'm fine with this.
That
I
makes
bet you
one of
are.
us.
Oh, dude, you're so cute. Look at you.
Not helping. Not helping. I know that's not the intent, but stop it. Okay, Ram. I'm going to be otherwise occupied. We still need to find Astrid.
I think this is a very bad decision, Dorian. And the
Okay,
voice
well,
sounds the
we're gonna-
same, even though it is
Yeah.
coming out of this little guy.
Of a 4-foot shit kid. It's fine. Sure. Well, I get that. The last time you had a good idea, we see how that went.
Are you referring to the self-introspection?
Yes.
Is that not what you are planning to do with Abigail?
Not
I don't
exactly.
I don't think I am doing the self-introspecting. Also, if it weren't for that initial self-retrospection or and goodness gracious, he drinks the whiskey. If it weren't for the initial self-retrospection, we wouldn't be needing to do this one in the first place.
That does not seem entirely likely, but I will go look for Astrid.
Thank you. And he's going to go and sit down in his chair behind his desk.
Everyone in hell is going to get a real kick out of hearing about this tiny little angel man.
I heard that.
I think you were meant to.
I didn't see you there. I'm so sorry.
Rem ignores Abigail and starts flapping those little wings so that they can fly out one of the windows. You two are now alone? Once again, question mark.
Yeah, I don't think we are. So. All right.
Abigail's kind of like shaking her hands out a little bit, like to loosen them up, maybe it seems like, and she says, okay. Are you ready?
As I'll ever be.
I just want you to know. Oh, sorry, what was that?
He just sits back.
I just want you to know that I'm going to put everything back.
Are you about to take his eyes literally?
I rolled 2 6s.
Are you just about to start eating eyes? Is that what's happening?
I'm not going to eat eyes.
Raiders.
Also, hello, we got raided.
Hello, Raiders.
Hello, Raiders.
Welcome.
Hi, Raiders.
Welcome, Chaotic Wholesome.
Oh, yay!
Hey,
From the
what's good?
Yeah.
Wolfskin Dreams. Yay!
Yes. Our good friends over at Chaotic Wholesome did the thing. Cool. So I rolled 2 6s. I want to gaze into the abyss. I have Abyss Born, which if I get a 10 up on a roll to gaze into the abyss about a desire I can procure, which technically this is because I want to find out about Morgan's murder. I take 2 forward instead of 1 forward. Gaze into the abysses with dark, I believe. That's a 13. So what Abigail's going to do is she's going to take her hand and kind of pass it over Dorian's face. And with her other hand, pass that over her face. She's going to close her eyes as she does so. And when she opens them, they're Dorian's eyes in her sockets. And when Dorian opens his eyes, there's nothing there.
We're one step closer to being the Corinthian. Just saying.
We're trying to achieve it. We're trying to achieve this by the end of this season.
I'm doing my best. Listen. Good thing I didn't fuck that roll up.
Yeah, that could have been real bad.
That would have been unfortunate. But a 13 is wild.
It's a lucky number.
And I figure what I'm trying to find, I figure what this lets me do is like see everything that Dorian's eyes have ever seen. It can kind of scan through them, is my thought. So with that in mind, I'm gazing into the abyss. It shows me lucid visions, and I take +2 forward to addressing them.
Abigail, anyone other than you would not be able to do this because, much like with your own memories, when you tried to look back and see Morgan, there are these spaces that there keep being jumps. And at first you don't really recognize it. I don't know how much other moments would distract Abigail, both in terms of everything from the recent trip to heaven and stabbing of God, which was pretty hot, which we'll acknowledge, to moments alone with Astrid. And as that relationship developed.
Oh no.
Because you see all of that. As you said, you see everything that Dorian's eyes have ever seen. And so you keep moving back through these last several months, this last year. And that's when you start to notice that glitching, that skipped pieces. And so you do what you do best. You slow that down.
My hope is that to use some sort of like, I don't really know, it's not alchemy, but alchemy is kind of like the intersection between science and magic. And my thought is maybe I can subvert the memory problem by saying that like sight leaves an impression on like the eye itself in a weird, like a psychic imprint that doesn't rely on memory.
And I think that makes sense. And I think it stands out to you that even with that, there's this initial experience of there still being the gaps, because that's powerful magic to be causing that much of an effect. But you start to hone in on pieces around the memories that you've heard described. You're able to go back to that moment that Dorian was holding Morrigan. And the first thing you're able to do is widen that line of sight, because Dorian could really only see Morrigan and a bit of the floor. There was not much else around him. But you're able to see what the room looks like. And you're able to piece together. I can't remember if Abigail was ever in this room, but Dorian was. Well, he was more than once. So, where that memory skips is maybe a little tricky, because having access to Dorian's eyes, you're able to piece together that this is the hidden room at the Connolly estate that Morgan is bleeding out in. And you would only be able to do that if you either had been there or had access to the fact that Dorian also found his way down there at one point.
I feel like I could scrub through to watch him, the journey to get there.
I think that's fair. And so I wasn't sure we would get here tonight, but I think that this, with a 13, is a place where I have a question for you, Q.
What's up?
Did Dorian kill Morgan? I am putting the decision in your hands. And I have additional pieces, depending on what your answer is.
Sweet. This is fascinating. No.
Abigail, you see Dorian coming down those stairs to that hidden room. And he is moving fast. And you both see, and it strikes you that you feel this, because you haven't necessarily felt the emotions connected to some of the other memories, but in this one, you feel the moment he freezes. And you hear him say, "No, no, 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 no." And then run forward, where Morrigan is stretched out in the middle of a circle, lined with black and red chalk, steadily bleeding out. And you see him try to stop the bleeding, try to fix those wounds, but that wasn't something he was granted the power to do in that moment. And I think you feel some anger in response to that. I think you might even hear Dorian say, "God damn you, you sent me here, and now you won't even help me."
Do I see a murder weapon?
You do. You see a simple knife laying off to the side, nondescript, covered in blood.
Going through the memories, do I see what happened to it?
You do not see
Okay.
it because of the fact that Dorian runs.
That I left. Yep.
Right.
But you know it was last at the Connolly estate.
Was it the same knife that was used for the prince?
It was not.
Okay.
And if Abigail were to compare those moments, which would make sense because you found that knife when you were down in the hidden room during that dinner at the Connolly estate. No, they had two apparently ritual knives because the one that was used to murder the prince and the Delosos is not this one.
Can I tell anything about the circle? What its purpose was?
You can. And you don't like it.
Hmm.
You can tell that this was designed to offer a doorway to Azazel.
Yeah.
But I just heard yell, step, yell, sorry, what? And you can tell that it didn't work. And you're pretty sure that it was because of Dorian's interference. Because as he went for Morgan, he kicked the chalk out of place. But you're left with the question of why was she left alone down there if it could be so easily interfered with?
It's true. And remind me, JD, do I know this or is this just me putting things together in my head?
I think with a 13, you're able to piece these things together.
Well, that, yes. But my question was going to be, if it didn't work, was Morgan the failed attempt, but was Damien the successful attempt? Is that why they murdered Damien?
That is a really good question. And I think it is one that you are left with. And if the question may not even be, did they succeed with Damien, but what did they set into place with the murder of the Delosos?
Right. Okay. And I think Abigail is going to scan through she knows that she should let this effect, this spell, if you want to call it that, fade. But I think she hesitates. She can't quite stop herself. She goes to some of the moments of Dorian and Astrid.
Get out of our memories.
Yeah, nothing inappropriate. Nothing inappropriate.
William.
She doesn't look at the piano lessons. But then she is going to end it.
Wait. I have a question before we get there.
Sure.
Assuming there was a spectral figure watching this moment happen,
True.
what might they see on Abigail's face when she looks at those particular memories?
Sadness. Sadness and like a dawning realization.
And as you let those... Yes, Amber?
No, I'm just emoting.
just processing things.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
What does Abigail do as she lets go of those memories? Yes, Q.
I also have a question. I'm so sorry.
No, please.
Seeing as how they are my eyes, could I have followed along?
I'm going to leave that up to Will.
Mm-mm.
How dare you?
Nope.
How dare you?
Nope. It's all me. It's a private show. Mostly because she would not have done that if she knew Dorian was watching.
Sure.
Also.
Well, sure. I also wasn't trying to do it so that you would know.
That's fair. That's fair. I know she's good at what she does. She knows how this works. But I do think that while she is seeing things that Dorian has seen while she's in those memories, it would have been quiet in the room, except for maybe like a sharp intake of breath at some of the revelations that she saw. But I think as she comes back, Dorian can hear her start to move. And I think would actually hear her kind of making like a choking noise, which I think he wouldn't take him long to realize that she's crying.
Gotcha. I think instinctively he's up. I'm assuming okay, now real quick. Are my eyes back?
No.
Cool, I didn't think so. I still think instinctively he's up. And I think a hand goes out to find you.
If you had any questions about whether or not she was crying, they're dispelled when she speaks. She says, Sit back down before you hurt yourself. Give me a minute. I don't want you to see me like this.
I can't see at all.
Yeah, that's the idea.
Listen, I'll keep my eyes closed. Also, listen, we're not like we used to be. You don't have to hide from me.
I think Dorian would feel kind of an itching, burning sensation that makes you close your eyes, but when you open them, again, they're back. And I think that strange feeling behind your eyelids has kind of distracted you from the feeling of Abigail putting her arms around Dorian, what she can reach, which is, I imagine, is like his midsection.
Yeah. Think an arm will go around.
I understand now.
What'd you find out?
You didn't do it.
Well, that's good. Why the long pause?
Because I saw myself in the way that I used to be. And I saw what she was to you. Astrid,
Okay, I thought you were talking about Morgan, and I was like, I do not remember that. I feel like I would remember that.
they were kind and vulnerable, and
Hey, it's in the past. Who you were, that's in the past. It's important what you are now. What you do with that moving forward. So, I didn't do it. Did you see who did?
no.
All right.
I think they tried to summon Azazel. Morgan was the sacrifice. You interrupted it.
Oh. Azazel's bad, right? I remember that. Like, he's one of the bad ones.
Yes.
Okay.
He took my father.
That's the one. Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, let's start. Did you see where it happened?
The Connolly estate.
Always with the fucking Connollys. I am so tired of hearing that name.
There's a secret room.
Oh, yeah.
You were
in the study. The book in the study, you open that, it leads down to a secret room. Yeah.
You were sent there.
To stop it.
I assume?
Or be a scapegoat.
If you were meant to be a scapegoat, you did a bad job. You ran before anybody found you.
Yeah, obviously. Self-preservation. I have it. Okay. So, Connolly's. Didn't they get taken to the Fey realm?
JD?
They sure did.
They sure did.
Yep.
And someone was living in that estate?
Someone was. You
Right.
helped
Someone
commit a
was.
murder in
Yeah,
that
oh, right.
estate.
That's who it was. That's who it was. I was like, it's
Yeah.
someone unimportant that was
Well, yes,
really easy to
'cause they're-
dispose of.
Because they're dead now. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Just can't think of their names. They didn't make much of an impression.
So, the Connollys. But it happened at the Connollys. I am prone to blame them. Why were they so...
I will just add a piece that you do know, which is Isaac Connolly, who had previously escaped with Horatia de Villiers,
Yes.
is back and has been at the palace.
Right.
So you do have two potential locations. Well, yes. At least 2 to 3 potential locations. If someone can get you to Ferry, if someone would let you in to talk to Isaac at the palace and the Connolly estate itself.
Okay.
All right.
The estate might be the easiest place to start, although I don't know that we will find much this long after the fact.
Right. There's been more murders since then.
Which makes me wonder.
Yeah.
Eventually, they succeeded. Who died so that Azazel could walk the earth?
Was it Prince or the Delosos?
That is the question.
Wait. The Delosos happened before I came.
That's fair.
So it might have been Prince Reynard.
It may have been, and maybe the Delosos were another failure.
Possibly.
And I do just have to ask, as our silent specter is watching this, what indications, if any, do we get from Morgan regarding what he might be thinking or feeling in response to this? Or do we get anything?
I think there's softer noises. There's less anger. And they're also very it's like she can't quite interact with things as well at this point. So you'll hear, I don't know, maybe some thuds, maybe a footstep. I don't think it's quite as cold in the room anymore.
And I think that, and you can let me, of course, know your thoughts, Chrissy, but I think it makes sense that interacting with the world around you is feeling harder, perhaps, because they're listing your murder among a handful of them. It's not even, in this moment, the central focus.
It's like Abigail said, unremarkable. Isn't that the word?
Probably. That sounds like something she'd say.
It wasn't about Morgan's murder. You were talking about Morgan herself. I'm pretty sure you used the word unremarkable. So yeah.
I think I was talking about your death. I think I was talking about the fact that your death might not have been part of some grand conspiracy and you just got murked.
I don't know. Either way. There we go.
There we go. And I think it is in that moment that there is the sound of the back door of the house opening. Lady Astrid Primer returns, but before we go to that, we're going to see how that conversation with Julius went in Fairy when we come back in 10 minutes.
Christ.
Don't go.
Yeah.
Put on take an edible, put on the fucking Daft Punk movie and just vibe.
I don't know how much talking we'd be doing at that point.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think at that point.
If I ever eat an edible, there is no talking happening. I forget how to human.
I'm with you, Chrissy. All right, we're going to dive right in because there's a lot of things that are going to happen before we wrap up for tonight. And that means we're going to rejoin Astrid, who made their escape to Fairy just with the last person that she wanted to be with.
God. If this moment is going to be anything like the weird eye contact I shared with my ex at the Bad Moves show last year, I'm so excited.
I mean, I think that depends. Is there any eye contact on Astrid's side, or are they looking anywhere other than at Julius?
What part of Fairy are we in?
You are in the same part that you found yourself in during that trip with your sister and with not Elise. It is the part that does not belong to any court.
Oh, the big foresty. First, the abject annoyance of being there washes over Astrid, hoping to have Sorry, Sam just texted me. He didn't have the 34-ounce beer to celebrate 34 charges for Donald Trump because he did not want to indulge in liberalism.
That boy's a keeper.
Sam, Will just said you're a keeper.
I would assume so.
He's gonna be like, "Who is Will?" Even though we've met.
No, he knows you.
Okay.
So Astrid is annoyed to be back here because this was a very not a great memory to be back in this space. It was it's such a huge trial. But then to turn around and see Julius, Astrid pulls out like a handkerchief and just buries her face in it and just is like, did I accidentally bring you here with me?
It would seem so, or I followed too close. I did not realize this was about to happen.
Well,
I did not realize you could do this.
Well, I didn't know I could either. I didn't know I could bring people with me, actually. But this is a new revelation. I can try to take you back. I don't have great control over this power just yet. Or you can just stay here if you want. That's up to you.
I do not think that thing is this fairy?
It is in fact fairy, but what?
It is in fact fairy, yes.
Yeah,
yes, I do not think that is a good idea. I think we should both get back to London.
What, the former seneschal doesn't want to be caught in fairy?
I prefer not to be in places where I am not welcome. And I have certainly not been offered an invitation to be here.
Oh. Then, sorry, my brain shut down. Well, Julius, wow, I'm so sorry. My brain just said, Amber, you're not allowed to speak, actually. So there's that.
I think that, to be honest, Julius may not help matters because when there is that brief pause in Astrid speaking, he jumps in to say, Astrid, I don't know how much time we're going to have here, but I wanted to apologize.
Whenever you're apologizing for, sure, you've already been forgiven and are an afterthought in all of the things amongst all of the things I'm worried about now. But thank you.
I've been forgiven. That's not the sense I get from every time we interact, Astrid, nor is it what I'm looking for. I'm not expecting anything from you. I simply wanted to apologize because I did not treat you the way you deserve to be treated. I let you believe that I was someone who I am not, and you were rightfully angry and hurt by that. And you deserved and deserve better. And I recognize that I am not that person.
JD, could you say all of that again, but in like a nasal tone of voice? And maybe like grow really curly hair and like round glasses. That would be sick. No,
It
you
seems
Gonna
oddly
work on that right
specific.
know. Astrid is struck by this. And we're getting therapy through TTRPG again. Hell yeah. Astrid drops the like handkerchief from like her face to like her chest in thought. Actually, Julius, that I know what I said a moment ago was pointed and acidic, but I thank you for that apology. I'm sorry I'm sorry that I have constantly been trebucheting the hurt back into your face over the past several seasons. It's just difficult when you thought I thought that once that I could find power in being loved by someone else. I thought that when we were together, it could have come from you, that you could have given me that energy and strength in myself that I did not think I had. But it took having my heart completely shattered by you for me to realize that it needed to come from myself in order for it to be real and true and permanent. But it shouldn't come at your expense. And I'm sorry that it took me literally attempting to run away again from my problems for us to collide this way.
I wish that knowledge had not come at the expense of having any part in breaking your heart.
Hold on. Actually, can you actually say that I had an audio processing issue?
I wish that knowledge had not come at the expense of breaking your heart.
Actually, hear me out.
Oh, I'm
I think I
listening.
want to try to turn him on.
Whose expression?
Not because I want to do anything with him, because I want something from him. And I'm already in fairy. Let's try leaning into this power that I've gotten, right? And getting some actual truths
Absolutely.
from him. So I would like Julius, and she starts like waving the handkerchief a little bit, as if like in thought, but also maybe miming fanning herself a little bit. I know this may be sudden and you've only just opened up to me, but I want to take this moment while I have it. Can you please give me a moment of your time to talk openly while we can? She looks up at him with the big, innocent eyes that she leveraged every one of those 6, 7 seasons that she was denied, rejected. And
Roll
I'm
with
going to...
advantage.
Hell yeah. Let me get another die. Ass. Okay. Hold on. That's with hot. I have a +2 to hot. Okay. All right. That's still a 9. That is still a 9. So he can either give me a string or choose one of the reactions. I give myself to you, I get embarrassed and act awkward, or I promise something I think you want.
I think he's
And
going to
I'm trying to use
promise.
like Fey charms.
Yeah, I think he's absolutely going to promise something he thinks you want. I mean, you have just said, I want us to talk openly. He's going to say, of course, Astrid, I would like nothing more than that. That was the entire reason I wanted to talk to you. If he were willing. I mean, I wanted to apologize, but I wanted to have a chance to answer any questions you might have for me.
Thank you so much, Julius, for indulging me. I know I've been so unkind and untoward towards you. So, but I'm glad that we could clear the air a little bit. Would I... What do you think of Seneschal Nyx?
I think she is competent. And I think that she has something to prove. I think she is still new and does not understand the intricacies of the experience and of the job. But I think she is capable.
Do you trust her to make the right decision with this conflict with in society at large, really? But I mean, do you trust her to make the right decisions?
He takes a moment to consider that, and you can see that he is carefully weighing whatever factors he's looking at in his mind. And then he nods and says, I do.
You think you did a good job as Seneschal?
No,
That's fair.
no, I spent part of my tenure trying to be someone who I was not meant to be. And I spent the rest reaping the consequences of those choices, which led to far too many people getting hurt, yourself included.
I have one final question, Julius, and I hope you'll indulge me and think that I do not have the worst intentions in asking it. But if you actually had feelings for me, do you think we would have made it?
He looks really sad at that and says, the feelings that I had for you were never feigned. I genuinely felt every single one of them, Astrid. I still did, even as you were building a new life for yourself. It wasn't a lack of feelings and genuine care that ended things between us. It was me thinking that I could be anything other than what I am. You met
And what
me
is it?
thinking that I was a pious man, someone on the side of good, whatever that means. And I'm not. I have to walk that line between. And there was a time where I thought I could carve out my own path. And that was when I fell in love with you. But you saw each and every time that collar around my throat was tightened and I was pulled back to being reminded of what I am. And that broke your heart because I could not fully explain that because I didn't fully understand it myself. I just knew that what I wanted, that who I wanted, what I needed, and who I needed weren't allowed.
It's really unfortunate. You know? I am I'm genuinely sorry to have contributed to the anguish and sorrow that you've been feeling this last little while you were mourning what could have been. I just felt like a stepping stone towards what you really wanted instead of a partner that you could actually love.
You were never a stepping stone, Astrid. You never could have been. You were more like the light I saw in the distance that I was desperately trying to reach. Because I knew that once I was there, I would be safe and happy and whole. And you raise a very valid point in what you said earlier, which is that that is not something that should come from another person. I needed to figure out that path for me before I made you that path.
And this path you're on now, where do you think it would lead you to? What do you think it would make you become? Can you even name it?
You know, I had honestly given up on the idea of there being another path. I I kept making changes, thinking that it would fix things. I was with you. I loved you. I gave up my position as seneschal, realizing that I was not serving that position, nor was it serving me. And that led to even more disastrous consequences. And even now, I find myself reaching for others as though they'll be the ones to fix me. I think what I needed was to hear what you said earlier, that you needed to find that power and support within yourself. Because I've been looking everywhere other than that.
It's a hard one journey, Julius. And I know it's one that so many people in this entire community are going through right now, is finding themselves, understanding what power they really wield, understanding the influence that they have on others, and how the little interactions you have with anyone can make a huge difference. Or, it ends in regicide. Um, but you
That was
see
an
it,
oddly specific example.
well, you know, you're not seneschal anymore.
I'm just going to pretend that I did not hear any of that.
um, but everyone, just like just, it's okay that you had a crisis of faith and everything. And I'm sorry that it's been more painful than you anticipated. But I'm glad you understand that it comes from within and that you're doing this, you're embarking on your own path for yourself and not for some selfish power grab that others are going on. That I kind of went on a little bit. If there's anything that this forest has taught me in the past and will clearly continue to teach me in the future, it's that these sorts of revelations need to come from yourself. And sometimes what's lying deep within is waiting to become bursting out and to reveal the truth. So I hope you leave this forest too, from with that truth bursting out. Do you need a hug?
He is genuinely caught off guard by that, but nods.
Astrid takes him in a gentle hug.
And he very carefully and respectfully returns that hug. And just quietly says, "Thank you."
Thank you. I will not throw so many barbs your way when we see each other in court.
And if and when you make it clear to me that you need space, as you did early this season, and I did not respect, I will respect that. I will let you tell me what those boundaries look like. And I will not expect anything from you, Lady Primer.
Other than getting you home safely.
And I think it is actually in that moment, Astrid, as you pull back from that hug, that you realize you're standing in the streets of London.
Yay! We did it. Lo hicimos. Well, Julius, I have a fiance to return to, and several distraught young women, and there is no innuendo there.
I
So
did not assume there was.
I must return. But thank you for your grace and your honesty.
Thank you for yours, Lady Primer.
This time she actually does turn and leave, not intending to go to Fairy.
And this time she does actually make it back to the house.
He did it!
Huzzah! And in through the back door, which is weird, but go off, Queen.
I don't know what the fuck happened to my dice. I don't know where they are. I
I
just
was wondering what you were looking for. You kept just going,
Where the fuck are they?
the titties,
I
no
put them
titties
back.
here. Okay. Yeah.
I think I
okay.
put them back. Yeah.
I think once we hear the door opens, Abigail is going to separate from Dorian, release the hug and take a step back. But I think she's going to say, she does so, and she's like swiping the back of her hand across her eyes because she's crying. Her eyes, which are now her eyes again.
Mm-hmm.
What was that, JD?
I was just talking to myself and I just said, the fact that you have to say that.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
To specify it.
Mm-hmm.
I think she will say, I am sorry.
For what?
Our relationship was born of your deal with my father. I am sorry for treating you for so long like you were content to stay in the dark with me. When I see now that all you wanted was to move towards the light.
Yeah, I suppose so. I guess just for a while, I thought that light was coming from an inferno. Till it burns, right? And I'm gonna head towards the door.
It's not happening. I'm not telling you.
What do you mean?
I'm not telling you. It's not happening. Stop.
Telling me what? I didn't do anything.
Nothing.
I just said our thing, which is only our thing, obviously.
Mm-hmm. As far as you know, that is true.
Yep. But yeah, I'm gonna go head towards the back door to make sure, one, it's not somebody trying to break in, and two, that it's hopefully my fiance.
And Amber, what is Astrid's expression as she comes inside?
When she finally returns inside, there are little smudges of mascara caught in her waterline, and on the handkerchief that she has tried to clean up as best as possible on her walk home, as to not arise too much suspicion. At this point, she's forgotten exactly why she left in the first place, because so much has happened in the past little while. But she is relieved to see Dorian and to see a friendly face. And the hug she gives him is far more impassioned than the hug of forgiveness, TM, that she gave Julius a moment ago.
And that hug is returned.
Yay! Dorian, I apologize. I did not mean to be gone for so long. I got a little turned around. But
It's all right. And I'm sorry that was that cause for putting you in such a state to run out in the first place?
I am learning that the best way to deal with problems is to face them head on and actually tackle them in the moment instead of continuing to run away. Because that just makes things worse for the people around me. I'm sorry.
No apologies necessary. I'm glad you came to that revelation.
Although, and maybe we need to circle the wagons a little bit, there's some sort of commotion going on at the palace, Dorian, that I saw while I was out, and the seneschals are, well, the new seneschal actually seems to want to do something about it. Elise and Carmen and Rhiannon are all in trouble down at the palace. And I think
Elise
Elise
and Rhiannon,
and Rhiannon.
you said Carmen.
I also said Carmen.
Well, we have to save both of them.
What did you see?
JD, it's been 2 hours. What the fuck did I see?
Yep. You saw their return from hell, along with Douglas. You saw Carmen's eyes turn blue. You saw Abraham Donatelli in a room screaming. And you saw blood splashing on the side of a white gazebo.
I relay all of that back to Dorian. Abigail's father, the return from hell.
White
Hell.
gazebo. Did you see anything else around it? Like a place, like a location? Was it here in London?
The gazebo, no, I didn't see that. But I did see the return from hell. Like, I did see the return from hell in the courtyard of the castle, of the palace.
Abigail.
I assume that I hear this, but I think I would like to say real quick, once Dorian leaves the room, Abigail is going to take a deep breath and compose herself and say, Morgan, I was wrong. Your death was not random, it was not unremarkable. Someone murdered you to bring about a great darkness, to unleash something into this world that never should have been. Which means that it is not time for you to rest. And it is not time for you to disappear.
I think that crosses the threshold.
Did it work?
I saw your death. Just not the moments leading up to it.
What does that feel like?
What does what feel like?
Seeing other people's memories. Why were you crying?
It feels a bit like being a voyeur, which you would know something about.
I didn't have much of a choice. I was screaming, you couldn't hear me. Probably for the best I was not saying particularly kind things.
Well, save that rage. Dorian didn't murder you, but someone did.
Honestly, that was very tiring.
I am sorry. Let's do our best to keep you here.
Thank you.
You don't have to thank me. All you did was tell me what you wanted.
I feel like that was some extraordinary lengths to go to find it.
I'm always happy to give my friends what they want.
Friends. Is that the word?
Yes. Morgan. We are friends.
Okay. I think I like the sound of that.
I get a string on you, and you get to mark an experience.
Amazing.
And maybe that's when we hear Dorian?
Before you do, I do
No.
just have a question. It's a casual question that I'm curious about. We talked about the fact that Morgan was a part of your hive when you were the queen.
Mm-hmm.
Had you ever called her your friend before?
I mean, probably.
Mm-hmm.
Did you mean it?
No,
No,
not at
that
all.
wasn't the question, though.
Yeah.
Do you mean it now?
Yes.
Just Abby with like a little piece of paper scribbled on. Are we friends? Yes or no?
Yep.
It's yes or yes. It's yes or obviously
It's true.
yes.
There's no no.
You don't get a choice. When Abby decides you're her friend, you're her friend.
Yeah, Octavia can tell you that.
Yep.
But I think, Morgan, that does stand out to you. I mean, your memories, everyone's memories, are still incredibly hazy of that time, but you feel something from Abigail that I think in the past you wanted and never felt.
She she's still staring curiously, wondering why she was crying. And he noted that that answer was that question was evaded.
Mm-hmm.
But we don't have time to get into it because Dorian calls for us from the other room.
It's true. It's true. We do not have time for that.
All right. So, quick update on our side. Morgan is a ghost who we thought for a moment that I might have killed her. Turns out I didn't, but I was there in some of the last moments of her death. And it's sort of all wrapped up in the mess that is the Devils and the Connollys. It's more Connolly bullshit.
She was murdered in an attempt to summon Azazel. It didn't work. Azazel is the demon who has my father.
Right. About that, Abigail, what would you say would be his favorite color?
My father?
Azazel.
Would I know that?
Yeah, no, that means absolutely nothing to you. That is a really strange question. Does Dorian want to date Azazel? Like, what is going on here?
I'm sure that I could not say.
If he were to manifest or possess someone, what color do you think would show?
Oh, right. Okay. I actually do know this, right? Because he's in Carmen.
Right.
Right. Sorry. Okay. Well, sorry for not getting what's his favorite color to what color their eyes turn.
Absolutely. No,
He's
absolutely.
inside of them.
No, that's fine.
Phrasing.
Ooh.
No, that was incredible.
Azazel's inside Carmen?
Yeah.
Carmen's
Yep.
No. Carmen's the new
all up
bottom?
in them guts.
All up in there. Yeah.
Wow. Good for Carmen.
No.
No.
Not good.
Not good.
Hit bad.
Not good.
Good for Carmen for getting his guts rearranged.
No. I realized that I said it first, but no.
You sure did, but also no.
Blue. Carmen's eyes turned blue when Azazel took control.
Ah. Yeah, that's about what I thought. I felt it before, but I didn't know anything about it. Apparently, he was seen stepping out of hell with Elise and Rhiannon. And you said Douglas?
Yes, Douglas the horse?
Yes, I lived with Fitz. I know Douglas.
I mean, it's not surprising, though. Where's Octavia?
Right. I didn't hear. He didn't mention.
I did not see Octavia.
Well, I mean, it's not surprising that they'd be mixed up in this. I've known where Azazel is the entire time. But I can't ask him. And truthfully, she kind of looks down at the ground. I don't believe that I would win that fight.
Maybe not alone.
I think the time is rapidly approaching when we will find out. For better or worse. But for now, we don't have time for any of this. If we figure out who killed Morrigan to try to summon Azazel into this world. Stands to reason they might know how to get rid of him.
True. So, are we going to the castle? Do we want to go to their residence? Or do we want to go to the Fae?
JD,
What's up?
I have a question about something weird.
As if questions asked tonight have not been varying levels of that.
It stands to reason to me that a devil might be able to figure out what the path of least resistance to get to someone's desire might be. Like maybe I could latch on to someone's wish essentially and try to track it.
I think that is reasonable.
I don't think I'd be able to do it to myself, but I think Morrigan's greatest desire is to find the person that killed her. Which in this case is also my greatest desire. Which I assume you'd want me to roll for that, but you tell me what to roll.
Before I do, Chrissy, you have a thought.
I was gonna have a question while Will was rolling because I didn't want to detract from RP for it. But so I have that move creep, where if I see someone in a private moment, I gain a string on them.
Rude.
I just
Move is rude as
don't want to
hell.
say for certain, but I just feel like the crying would qualify.
Fucking
Oh,
got your ass, dude.
absolutely.
Got your ass, dude.
In
Cool,
fact,
cool,
I
cool.
would give you a string on both Dorian and Abigail because of the moment that they shared together as well.
Cool.
Wow.
Yep.
Okay.
You know what? Something good came out of that darkest stuff, let me tell you.
I think that's the only Abigail string in play right now.
It is, and it's
That's
annoying.
really
But
I have
fucking
two,
anyway,
incredible.
actually.
You know what?
One prior to starting the game on you, and then one from that.
You're the
Fair.
only one. JD, actually, since we're talking about, intimacy moves, I think my intimacy move is when you are reminded of your purpose here on Earth, lose one of your skin moves and gain a different one.
I was thinking that was flagged in my brain, and then I did not circle back to that. Yep.
I sure have. I think all of this, especially the conversation with Abigail, has certainly shown him what it is he's supposed to be doing here. He's following the light. What's up?
Hey, wait.
Yep, that means yours is going to trigger as well.
So someone may remove any number of conditions they have when I share intimacy with them.
Oh, nice.
So you're no longer drained.
Hell yeah.
And for every condition removed, I gain a string on them. So
God bless him.
This has been the most interesting domino effect.
which works out actually because I spent my Dorian string last session for
You
Mamon's
sure
plaything.
did.
So now I can do that again. I can help you out more.
What do I
We'd
have?
love to see it. And yeah, we haven't. Yep, I was going to touch base with you too, Amber, because that was a pretty intimate moment with Julius.
I don't want to give him a promise.
You could give him success on his next roll.
It's true.
I could give him success on his next roll. And he can see my tail now, which is great. Love that. Love that my ex knows I'm a fae now.
I mean, I feel like that tracks, just given where the two of you ended up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fine. You know what? I think this will be more fun in the fiction. I'll give him a promise I must keep.
I love that.
I don't want to. Fine. If it'll mean Rammies.
Always. That's the name of the game. So now that we have activated a variety of intimacy moves and also navigated some changes in strings and things like that, Abigail, I think I'll have you roll with Dark.
Okay, I think I get +1 to this because of my last Gaze into the Abyss, where I'm acting on the
+2.
answers.
Was it you?
Okay,
+2?
yeah. Yeah. All right, cool.
Bill, what did the dice?
+3. I rolled Snake Eyes,
Ooh, fuck.
so that's a 5.
If only other people had strings on you, maybe they could
Yeah, I
help.
was
I
about
know.
to say, can I help with that?
That would bring it up to a 6.
No. Okay.
And I think it actually makes, it's one of those roles where this makes perfect sense narratively, because Abigail, you are in preparation to do this. You are thinking about the fact that there are so many locations to go to and not enough time and potential urgency given parts of the vision that Astrid saw. And that's when there is a knock on the front door.
Perhaps the master of the house wants to get that.
I do. Hey, can I call Rem back?
So that's interesting. The answer is no, but
Oh, interesting. Interesting.
feel close.
Interesting. I'm gonna go to the door now. I'm gonna pull out my
Seneschal,
gun. Yeah. Oh, Seneschal Nix, of course.
you have okay, that's just good to know. Good to know that you are prepared.
Correct.
Seneschal Nix is standing there. You see and feel immediately that whatever you did to transform Rem, it was short term. And you're not quite sure when they turned back into a sword, but they did because Seneschal Nix is wearing the sword across her back.
Seneschal?
Mr. Black.
Steph.
We love you, Steph.
How can I help you?
Well, for starters, I have someone to return to you, it appears.
Yeah, I see that. I'm just gonna like warlock patron the sword back to me. Sorry about that.
I have questions, but now is not the time for that.
Of course.
Is Miss Donatelli here?
Yes.
May I speak
Do
with
come
her?
in. Abigail, you have a visitor. I think you'll like this one. I'm gonna close the door.
I think Abigail will look up. I don't think she's quite quick enough to contain, to like hide the expression fully of like a little bit of embarrassment, I think, like just to be perceived
Oh no.
by this person. But she covers it up very quickly. That's Seneschal. Was not expecting to see you again so soon.
Nyx's demeanor is very different than the last time. Last time she was having fun. She was enjoying the word play. She was both serious in moments, but we'll just say it, flirting in the next. And her expression is stony. It is the face of someone who is bringing bad news. And there's a moment where she's about to speak and then realizes that the room contains several other people and looks to you, Abigail, and asks, Miss Donatelli, would you like for us to speak here, or would you prefer somewhere more private?
Don't believe I have anything to hide from my friends.
Very well. You came to me with several concerns, including the paths running dry when it came to finding information on your father. Your father has been located. He is back in hell.
Under what circumstances?
Under ones that have made it more difficult for him to return. Under banishment from someone more powerful than him.
Zazel.
Yes. And you can see Nyx hesitating. There is clearly something she is preparing herself to say that she wants to say even less than the things she has said so far.
You might as well say it's Seneschal.
You're right, there is no point in delaying this, Abigail. Your father has no memory of you.
Then I suppose he has succeeded. Zazel has taken everything from me.
Not quite.
No. Not quite. Not his death.
Anything else, Seneschal?
I have not had the time to research this in the way I would have wanted to before dangling anything that could be construed as hope, but we are looking for a specific dagger. One that has influence over memories. I think there could be a way to use that to get your father's memories back. I should not be saying that. That is not my purview or domain, but
I imagine we have some idea who already has it.
that I have not been able to obtain yet. But I would
Really
imagine.
quickly.
Yeah.
So sorry. Did Abigail share about the properties of the dagger? Because I know it was brought up. I just don't remember. Okay.
Yeah, we talked about it last session, I'm pretty sure.
Okay. I was fairly certain we had. Well, if your father's memories were carved out, then it stands to reason that Azazel has it.
Did he use the knife? Is that how he did this?
No.
Interesting.
He did not do this. He banished your father. He was not the one who took your father's memories. If you are going to seek revenge, you deserve to know who was responsible for which aspects. Carmen Deloso made the choice to take your father's memories.
Dorian's looking at Abigail.
Everyone keeps saying to me, Abigail, stop living your life for other people. Take the time to think about what you want. Give these things to yourself. Decide what you want, Abigail. Well, I know what I want, Seneschal. Where is Carmen del Oso?
And that is where we are going to end tonight's session.
Did somebody say obliterate that twink?
I said it.
Melissa's gonna need a lot more than lube. The absolute fucking that Abby's gonna give it.
Not wrong. Not wrong about that.
We had a time together tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't we?
How
I'm
are we
glad
all
I didn't
doing?
watch. I'm glad I didn't watch the table 2 VOD.
Yeah.
I'm glad I came in blind for that.
I wasn't sure if you had. I wasn't sure if this was going to be a shock.
It's not shocking because it's Carmen, but
It's not
Yeah,
shocking because it's
dude.
Raph.
yeah,
I mean, that's what he
You're
said.
not wrong. You're not
That's
wrong.
what he said. Listen, it's just a temporal self-insert. It's fine.
buying a plane ticket right now.
Heading to the UK, gonna stream Class Reunion, but wait, we can't because
Yep,
there's no rap.
there's no rap, and I'm in the UK.
Uh,
Tomorrow we all sign on for Class Reunion, and I'm just sitting in Ref's chair.
You probably wait. I can't remember how the time difference works. We had to talk about that with Ralph last time.
5 hours.
5 hours ahead.
Yes.
Yeah.
They're 5 hours ahead of us.
I mean, if you jumped on a plane right now, I'm sure you.
I don't think I could make it, but it'd be close.
That's how time works, right?
Mhm.
BWI is an international airport.
It's true. All
Oh,
right.
boy.
I gotta tell
we
you.
have had a time, so I am going to
have.
let us do our outros so that
So
we are
much
not
fun.
up too late.
I mean, that's fair.
Starting with Amber. So Amber, remind us of who you are and the awesome things that you do.
I just feel like we better call Saul. Hi everybody,
What does
I'm
that
Amber.
mean?
I don't
Amber,
know.
what does
I
that
just
mean?
I just feel like Saul Goodman would be a good use here. I don't know. Hi everybody, I'm Amber, also known as the Space Jamber. I'm a 3-time Emmy nominated TTRPG writer, editor, podcaster, and streamer. Well, I would ordinarily say you can find me anywhere there's internet at the Space Jamber, but right now I'm at a point in my life where I'm going to therapy twice a week, so you can't find me anywhere there's internet. You can't
find me. Don't look for me.
Yeah, you can find me. You can find me. Actually, here's where you can find me. You can find me on stage twice at Gen Con in August, where I am playing the Wild Sea with the wonderful folks from the Pocket Dragon Pub. And then I'm also doing another panel about publishing and writing indie TTRPGs, since, the 3-time Emmy nominated TTRPG writer, editor, podcaster, streamer. So I am going to be, I'm going to be at Gen Con doing 2 panels and trying not to believe it's fake. So yeah, or I'm running games at Gen Con as well. So if you search Amber Logston, you can find me. But that's all I want to plug. Oh wait, no. Yeah, that's all I want to plug. Yeah. Thank you.
Made myself big and then I didn't unmute. Hi, hey, hello. My name is Will. I'm one of the storytellers and the organizers here at Live from the Apocalypse. I will be back tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for some class reunion, our 5e homebrew about a group of high school students from Ohio and their friend's roommate, who have been trapped in a fantasy world for 10 years. And are kind of in the process of trying to realize their epic destiny. Aside from that, it's almost June, and I did make my June calendar. It's hard to read from here.
You have something coming up on Entropy Emporium?
I do. I'm just trying to see if I have to do anything else. What the fuck did I write anywhere? Purple was a bad choice, y'all. It's dark in this room. Tuesday the 4th is Tenebris, Nephilim Tenebris, our game, near future gritty sci-fi game that you can catch a bunch of us in. And then on the 6th, that Thursday, is going to be the premiere, probably, of God Complex over on Entropy Emporium, which is a game. It's a Girl by Moonlight game about a far-off future where there are space kaiju, and it's about a group of people piloting the corpses of dead gods to fight those space kaiju, hopeless battle for the future of humanity. It's going to be good. It's going to be good. There's a trailer that I'm going to finish before then. It's very good, I promise. And yeah, that is, I think, everything that I have to talk about. You can find me on the internet places at @AWillMScream. Yeah, I think that's it. Oh, I should say, on the 10th, I'm going to be running a Pride stream using the Fist system. Get it out of your systems now. Over on Just the Humans channel. It's a great cast. It's going to be very funny and a very gay story about mercenaries battling against bad people. That's all I'll say about it for now. Check it out. Anyway, that's it for me.
Chrissy, you are up next.
I forgot to mute myself. Hi. I'm Chrissy. Chrissy in color. I played Morgan tonight. And yeah, you can find me on all the fun internet spaces as Chrissy in color. As for what I have coming up, I have a really fun, exciting charity stream on June 6th. With Magnificent Pride. I get to play at a table with a whole bunch of cool people. It's sponsored by a few different companies, including Idle Champions. And it's supporting Blackpink, or Black and Pink. There we go.
I don't think Blackpink needs anyone's monetary contributions.
No, they're fine.
No.
Well, they're fine. Hi, I'm Q. You can find me pretty much everywhere out on the internet at Midnight Inc. That's Midnight_INQ. Q is my name. I'm sure you get it. Save a horse, ride a cowboy. I keep making cowboys. I was Mr. Dorian Black, one of my cowboys. You can find me on Tuesday for Nephilim Tenebris over here. On alternating Tuesdays from that, you can see me over at Entropy Emporium with JD, where I'm playing Connor, the biggest little guy, the biggest, saddest, angriest boy, and they call us villains. You can also see me every other Thursday over here for Redacted, also with JD. He keeps bringing me back. You will see me tomorrow because I am part of the permanent cast for Class Reunion, which is great. You can see me every Sunday for Starcrier Conflict over on RPGs Uncovered. And I am going to have at least 2 Pride games this year. So keep an eye out for that. I'm also going to be a part of the Magnificent Pride. I'm very excited. I am trying not to fanboy about the people that I'm with. It's fine. Anything else? Yeah, I've got other stuff in the works, so just keep tabs. It's coming.
And I am going to be quick because it is late and I am tired, and I am one of the players who will need to be awake for tomorrow's 11 a.m. stream, where I am not playing my usual character, Hunter, because their partner is currently inside of them.
Crazy.
It happens. Don't worry about it. Instead, I am playing Lindsay Ardane, who is just happy to be included, honestly. And it will be, I'm sure, a wonderful, perfectly normal time for everyone. I have to confront my dad tomorrow. I forgot about that. That's fine. Anyways, I do like 5 million other things on this channel. I'm either running games or I'm playing in them. And then you can also find me with Exquisite Corpse Presents. We may be back tomorrow for Sister Cities, our 5e, usually non-magical homebrew. We'll see if that happens, but you can find me generally every other week there, and you can also find me running They Call Us Villains over with Entropy, and finally with Lost Caravan for Nova every other Wednesday. Best way to find me, look at my socials, JD.JasonDean, and I'll be letting you know where I am on any given night. But I think with that, I'm going to let Will bring us to our official outro and raid.
It's true. It's true. There are about 40 minutes left in AA and HVI month. We're going to raid our friends over at Neon Lights Roleplay, who are doing part 2 of their Lancer 2-shot for charity, raising money. So come along, say hi, be friendly. I think that's pretty much everything that we have to say. There are socials in the chat. There's a Discord link in the chat if you want to join the community. It's a great place full of great people. We'd love to have you be a part of it. I think with all that being said, say goodnight, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night.
As soon as I find the button, good night for real this time.